could become a millionaire in as little as 5 years. However, he has been informed that this information cannot be exposed in the public atmosphere. The company that has developed the system by law can only share this by private invitation only. I guess you know it's not an MLM. Now the good news. Tim Rickey will share with us 2 short stories that were the very foundation in the building of his multi-million-dollar business and paved the way to the coveted award as Entrepreneur of the Year. Most of you know Tim. For those of you who do not, without further ado, please help me welcome Tim Rickey.
Thank you, Terry. Have you ever found yourself so down and out you didn't know where to turn next? Anybody been there? You should all be raising your hands or you're not living on this planet. Well, those things happen to all of us. And good morning to everybody. Glad you're here. I've got some good news. You had the bad news. Now, if you want to know about that, I can talk to you privately. I can't. I'm recording this because they required me to do this. So I had to record it. But this morning I'm going to share you with those 2 stories. The first began, 30 years ago. I'd just gone through a divorce. I was living on the floor of my apartment. I didn't even have a bed to sleep in. I was raised with 10 kids. I never was alone prior to that. The only time I had any privacy was in the privy. That's supposed to laugh there if you would.
If you were lucky.
But I was journalizing my gloom and doom every day. And then one day, after months of doing that, as I sat on the floor, I started to read back. And I realized that I was really having a fun time with pity parties. You know, we all know what those are. So I took the journal, I tore it up, I slipped on my running shoes, and began to run. Within months, all of the things that I wanted in my life began to slowly but surely come to me. See, what happens when I went out running, I was so used to the road to life being so hard, dust covered and nowhere to go. But when I ran, I realized something, that underneath that dust, underneath that hard ground, it was shiny and bright because it was a yellow brick road. Dorothy knew what the yellow brick road is. We all know what she was trying to do, and there it was beneath my feet. It was my analogy that provided that for me. So within months, I'd started a new business, had a girl in my life, got my dream home. All of these things happened when I made that observation about where I was going with my life. And I followed the yellow brick road. Many years later, actually 6 years ago, I found myself back pretty much in the same position. Not knowing what to do, couldn't think of that. I was not journalizing that stuff. I knew better about that. But I did a couple things that can make a difference in your life. When you're really down, really out, tell yourself your own success stories of previous successes you've had in your life. You've had them. Tony Robbins says success leaves clues. And he's right. And I'll have to look at this because I wrote it about an hour ago. During those times, many years ago, the one thing I did do was I wrote this book, 52 Ways on How to Be a Romantic Man. Somehow it helped. What I didn't realize 6 years ago, that I was alone on Thanksgiving. I sat down at my computer thinking, 4 days, I'm alone. I've never been alone on a holiday, ever. Not on a holiday. And it really concerned me about my mental well-being through the holiday season. So I sat down and started to write. 4 days later, I'd written a book. And I was astounded that I could actually write a book in 4 days. I didn't think anybody could do that, especially me. But I did. But the thing I discovered just a while ago is every time I hit the bottom, I seem to go to writing. What do I do today? So I never get down. I'm always writing. And it is very, very helpful. When you get into those situations, the one thing you will find out, and pay close attention to this, the most difficult times in my life have been the most creative times in my life. I'll repeat that. The most difficult times in your life can be the most creative because you look deeper, you look harder, and things begin to appear. Be patient with yourself and let them rise to the surface and follow them. I've told people, I don't know what I want to do. I said, find something, research it. When I did it, we didn't have Google. I had to go to the library and I spent a lot of time there researching things. Today, I have a little background music, hope you like it. Just give the band a little applause here. Today you can go to Google it, and the interesting thing when you go to Google something, you see something, but then there's something else that catches your interest. So you kind of follow that link. Do that, because this is the road to discovery. Maybe that's a yellow brick road. You never know. There's 3 things I'd like to tell you. Remember, the stone-hard road has a yellow brick road beneath it. It's only a brief moment in time that you're there. And brief can depend on how long you've been on the earth. However, how many times have you seen people say, I reached the end of my rope, I was just ready to give up, and then things changed? We heard that? We hear it all the time. Same thing will happen for you. So if you're down and out, hang in there, it'll get better. Just pay attention to what's going on, look for opportunities. 2, look for your creative edge and make it known to yourself. Find the path. The creative issue will appear and you'll be able to find the direction to take it in. 3, tell yourself those success stories. As I said, Tony Robbins says success leaves clues. He's right. I remember the wealth years and my wife saying, hey, it's just stuff. You know, we've all heard Carlin say that, it's just stuff. But you know when you lose it, you know what you say? God, I miss my stuff. And you do. But what you don't lose is knowledge. Because you see, success leaves clues. That's the clue. The fact that you've done something means you can repeat the success you've been there before. So just go ahead and do that. But as you slowly travel the yellow brick road, things will change. That fear you had of where you're going, all of a sudden you grow, you get confidence, you have the courage of a lion. The heart that is turned to steel will soften and once again learn to love again. And how many times you've said to yourself, why did I put myself in such a place where there's so much pain, so much hurt? I don't know where I'm going with my income, my marriage is falling apart, whatever it may be. Understand that that experience is a learning time, not a sorrow time. It's a learning time. And you will, again, you look deeper and you learn much more about who you are and where you can go from here. And each experience will make you stronger as long as you don't take the negative path. I found that so many times with so many people in coaching that it amazes me how you can just get them to, if you find that little amount of success with them and help them build on it, all of a sudden everything changes for them and they're going forward. So anytime you run into those things in your life, don't hesitate. Follow the yellow brick road. It'll take you to success. Terry?
That was it? That was correct.